God provided a leader by the name of Moses. For people in sin, God provided a leader by the name of Jesus. To the Jews, God provided deliverance. To the Jews, God proved deliverance was his work through Moses, his signs. To us in sin, God proved deliverance was his work through Jesus, his signs. To the Jews, deliverance was totally God's work. All they did was obediently follow. For sinners like you and I, deliverance is totally God's work. All we do is obediently follow. With the Jews, God provided victory through what seemed certain defeat at the Red Sea. With sinners, God provided victory through what seemed certain defeat at Jesus' death and burial. The Jews, God established a perpetual memory to be continually observed, the Lord's Supper. Amen. Amen. As fascinating as all of those parallels are, none of them are the essential parallel. The Exodus was the undeniable proof of God's love for Israel. The cross is the undeniable proof of God's love for us. Yes. No thinking Jew or understanding can take the Passover without thinking about God's great love. No thinking Christian of understanding can take the Lord's Supper without thinking of God's great love for sinners. This past week when we had the Lord's Supper, it was a strange Lord's Supper. It was the first one when my son washed my feet. Nathaniel washed one foot, and Fernando washed the other foot. And at first, I was a little hesitant to let them do it, but I let them do it, and they proved that they've been studying in the house of prayer. Amen. It proved that they had been paying attention to what's going on. They knelt before me, wrapped a towel over their body, and washed my feet. Amen. You can't think of the Passover. The Jews can't think of the Passover without thinking of God and Moses. We can't think of the Passover without thinking of what Jesus has done for us. Yeah. The unending proof of God's love for the Jewish people was Exodus. The emphasis in the Old Testament on the importance and meaning of the Exodus is overwhelming. Challenging you to consult a complete concordance. Look under Egypt and bondage and note the emphasis, and those are not all the references. There's so much emphasis on the Exodus, significance as a declaration of God's nature and love, that there would not be enough time to read all the references in this assembly. To this day, the best known act of God in Israel's history is the Exodus under Moses' leadership. It is the central event of the Old Testament. It marked the beginning of Israel as a nation. It marked the point that they, as a people, became God's representatives, which he promised Abraham. It was the divine act of God anointing the Jewish people to act as his nation. The unforgettable importance of that deliverance is powerfully stressed throughout the Old Testament. The Passover was instituted to be an annual reminder of God's deliverance. Exodus 12 and 17. You shall also observe the feast of unleavened bread. For on this very day I brought your host out of the land of Egypt. Therefore ye shall observe this day throughout your generations as a permanent ordinance. Deuteronomy 16 and 13. You shall not eat leavened bread with it. 7 days you shall eat with it unleavened bread, the bread of affliction. For you came out of the land of Egypt in haste, so that you may remember all the days of your life, the day when you came out of the land of Egypt. The Exodus was the foundation on which the Ten Commandments stood. Throughout Old Testament history, the undeniable proof of God's love for Israel was the Exodus. Let's try and make this point unforgettable for you and I. If in the horrible period of the Judges we asked a faithful Jew, does God still love Israel? He would say, yes, unquestionably. If we responded, how can you say that with all the horrible things that are happening in the world? He would say that Exodus is proof that God never stopped loving us. In the awful wickedness during Samuel's lifetime, if he had asked God, does God still love Israel? A faithful Jew would say unquestionably, yes. If we responded, how can you say that? They would say that Exodus forever proves God's love. And so it would have been in the terrible days of the Philistine domination or the Babylonian captivity. Exodus proves God's love. Just as the Exodus was the inevitable proof of God's love for ancient Israel, the cross is the irrefutable proof of God's love for all his people. The unquestionable proof that God loves us is Jesus' death and resurrection. What God did for all the people in Jesus Christ's cross cannot be exaggerated. Without Jesus' death and resurrection, Christianity would not exist. If it wasn't for the cross, we would not be here today. We can exist as Christians only because of Jesus' cross and resurrection. God's cost in redeeming us from our sins is too great to comprehend. The central importance of Jesus' cross as the proof of God's love for us is powerfully stressed in the New Testament. Romans 5:16, for while we were yet sinners, he died for us. For one will hardly die for a righteous man, though perhaps for the good man someone even dared to die. But God demonstrates his love towards us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Romans 8:31, what then shall we say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? 2 Corinthians 5:14, for the love of Christ controls us, having concluded this, that one died for all, therefore all died. And he died for all so that we might no longer live for themselves, but for him who died and rose again on his behalf. Ephesians 5:1, therefore be imitators of God, as beloved children, and walk in love just as Christ also loved you and gave his life. Hebrews 12:1, therefore since we have such a great cloud of witness surrounding us, let us lay aside every weight that so easily besins us and run the race that is set before us. 1 John 3:16, we know love by this, that he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for one another. How can we know God's love? There are many evidences of his love for us, but no evidence equals the proof of Jesus' cross. When we are in circumstances where all other evidences seem to fail, Jesus' cross still stands. Yes. To make the fact unforgettable, in Acts 5, when the apostles were beaten by the order of the Jewish Sanhedrin, if we asked them, does God still love you? They would have answered, yes, of course. If we asked them, how can you say that after being beaten? They would have responded, the cross shows his love. When Stephen was stoned to death in Acts 7, he was asked as he died, does God still love you? He would have answered, absolutely. Had we asked, how can you say that? He would have replied, the cross proves God's love. And so it would have been with all the faithful Christians who suffered in the New Testament. Yet in times of distress and suffering, we ask, does God still love us? The book of Revelation written to distressed, suffering Christians answers that question. It says, the sacrifice Jesus reigns right now. That Jesus, God's sacrificial lamb, proves God's continuing love. The crucified, resurrected Jesus proves your victory is certain. Without doubt, all Christians will face dark hours that challenge their faith in God's love and concern. In those hours of circumstances, we'll seem to shout, does God yet still love us? He has deserted you. He does not care about you. You do not matter that much to him. If he loved you, this would not have happened to you, and you would not hurt so much. If he loved you, the wicked would not be doing so well at your expense. In that moment, the Christian must never fail to see Jesus' cross. He or she must be able to say, I can't explain the circumstances. I can't explain what's happening. I can't even explain my suffering. But I know God's love for me is irrefutable. Not even this uproots the truth of Jesus' cross. If he loved me that much, he still loves me. The truth is, that truth empowers you to hold on in life's darkest hours. Beneath the cross of Jesus, I fain would take me stand, the shadow of a mighty rock within a weary land. A home without the wilderness, a rest from the wave, from the burning of the noontide heat and the burden of the day. Upon the cross of Jesus, my eye at time can see the very dying form of one who suffered there for me. And from my spitting heart with tears, two wonders I confess. The wonders his glorious love and my own worthlessness. I take, O cross, thy shadow for my abiding place. I ask no other sunshine than the sunshine of his face, content to let the world go by, to know no gain, no loss, my sinful self, my only shame, my glory of the cross. Have you seen the cross? Have you seen his love? Amen. 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 What's love got to do with it? What's love got to do with it? Did you hear me? She sung, what's love got to do with it? Love, but a second-hand emotion. What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart? See, we know the words. Well, has your heart been broken? Yes. Have you cried when nobody saw you? Yes. Has life beaten you down? Yes. Sometimes you wonder, why do things happen the way they do? Why do bad things happen to good people? Bad things happen to bad people, but bad things also happen to good people. You could be minding your business and something happen to you. You could be standing on the side of the road and somebody else's problem can become your problem. What's love got to do with it? For God so loved the world that he gave. When we look at the Exodus marks the change of the Old Testament. God's delivering Israel out of their problems. He's delivering them out of slavery. And the rest of the New Testament is written reflecting back to the Exodus. Every prophet after the Exodus points back to God delivering his people. Even now today, the Jews are consistently talking about the Exodus and who Moses was. They can't see the cross because of Moses. But the cross is not greater than his grace. The cross cannot hide his blessed face. I am satisfied to know that with Jesus, here we go, I can conquer every foe. It don't matter what it looked like. It don't matter whose name it is. But because Jesus lives, I can face tomorrow. Because Jesus lives, I can hold on to God's unchanging hand. If we look in the Old Testament, he said, now I have come down to deliver you. They were in slavery. They were in bondage. And sometimes we have a little bit of problems and we let go of God's unchanging hand. These people were in slavery for 400